Tonight we take a look at 3 unsettling horror stories. First, imagine an AR filter that shows you exactly when and how you'll die, down to the minute. Then, the story about the family who thought they had moved into their dream smart home, but instead found themselves living inside a nightmare. And finally, we share the terrifying experience of interviewing a demon said to harvest the last thoughts of the dying. 3 gripping tales that are sure to leave you breathless. Let's get started.
What if your phone could show you exactly how you're going to die? Last month, that question stopped being hypothetical when a new AR filter called Final Moment appeared across every major social platform simultaneously. No developer credit, no company behind it, just theirs. The premise was sickeningly simple. Point your camera at someone, activate the filter, and watch a ghostly overlay show their death scene, complete with flickering timestamp and cause. Most people laughed it off as a sick joke. They stopped laughing when the predictions started coming true. And within 48 hours, #DeathFilter was trending worldwide. Millions of users were filming themselves, giggling nervously as the filter showed them drowning, falling, choking, crashing. It was dark humor for the TikTok generation. Until it wasn't humor anymore. Sarah Martinez was patient zero. The 19-year-old college student filmed herself using the filter, laughing as it showed her drowning in her dorm room shower at 11:47 p.m. on October 15th. "That's so random," she giggled to her 50,000 followers. "I literally never take baths." 3 days later, campus security found her unconscious in her shower stall. She'd slipped, hit her head, and drowned in 3 inches of water. Time of death: 11:47 p.m., October 15th. The internet exploded. Comments flooded in from around the world. "Guys, this happened to my cousin too. My coworker used it last week. She's in the hospital. The filter showed my dad getting hit by a blue sedan. He won't leave the house now." But here's what made everyone's blood run cold. The filter was never wrong. Not once. Every death happened exactly as predicted, down to the minute. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a behavioral psychologist, started documenting the phenomenon. What she discovered was more terrifying than random death predictions. The filter wasn't just predicting deaths, it was creating them. Every person who used the filter and saw their death would begin experiencing a series of seemingly random coincidences. Small choices that felt natural, obvious even. Taking a different route home. Deciding to shower late at night. Choosing to drive instead of walk. Each decision pulling them inexorably toward the exact scenario the filter had shown. "It's like watching someone sleepwalk toward their own execution," Dr. Vasquez noted in her research. "They make choices that feel completely voluntary, but they're being guided by subconscious programming triggered by seeing their predicted death." The most disturbing part? You couldn't resist looking. Even knowing what it meant, users found themselves drawn to open the app. The morbid curiosity was overwhelming. That primal need to know overrode every survival instinct. Tech companies tried to ban the filter, but it kept reappearing under different names. Mirror of Fate, Last Light, The Final Frame. It was learning, adapting, spreading. Government agencies worldwide launched investigations. The filter's code was unlike anything cybersecurity experts had seen. It seemed to exist everywhere and nowhere at once, distributed across millions of devices simultaneously. But Dr. Vasquez made a breakthrough when she analyzed the victims' phone usage in their final hours. Their devices showed activity after their recorded time of death, posts made from beyond the grave, photos uploaded from morgues, final selfies taken by corpses. That's when she realized something that chilled her to the bone. The filter wasn't showing the future, it was showing the present. Every time someone looked into their phone screen and saw their death, they were actually witnessing their final moments in real time. The app was creating a temporal loop, trapping users in a self-fulfilling prophecy of death. The victims weren't seeing how they would die. They were seeing how they were dying right now. From the perspective of their own death, Dr. Vasquez stared at her research, hands trembling, when she noticed something that made her heart stop. Her phone screen was glowing. A notification had appeared. Final Moment filter ready to use. As she looked at her reflection in the black screen, she realized the final, terrible truth about the death filter. It wasn't created by hackers or government agencies or tech companies. It was created by death itself. The filter was a digital manifestation of mortality, humanity's inevitable end given form through the very technology we'd become addicted to. Every phone, every screen, every device was a potential window for death to reach through and claim its victims. Dr. Vasquez watched in horror as her finger moved toward the screen, seemingly of its own accord. She tried to resist, but the curiosity was overwhelming. "Don't you want to know?" The last thing she recorded in her notes was a single, haunting line. "The phone in your pocket suddenly feels heavier, doesn't it?" Because here's what Dr. Vasquez never got to publish. The filter is still out there, still spreading, and, according to the download statistics she discovered in those final moments, it's already on your phone. You just haven't opened it yet. But you will. They always do. After all, wouldn't you want to know how your story ends? Sweet dreams, everyone. Maybe, just maybe, don't check your phone notifications tonight.
And now for story number 2. So you've just dropped $2 million on your dream smart home. We're talking about the Hendersons here. Total tech nerds who've literally bought themselves a mansion that thinks for itself. Meet Aria, their AI home management system that's basically like having a digital butler who never sleeps. Aria, dim the lights for movie night. Boom, perfect ambiance. Aria, what's the weather? Instant forecast with outfit suggestions. This thing learns everything. It knows dad likes his coffee at exactly 6:47 a.m., that mom prefers the bedroom 2 degrees cooler, that little Timmy always forgets to turn off his Xbox. It's like living in the freaking future, people. For 3 glorious weeks, the Hendersons are living like royalty. Aria orders groceries before they run out, plays Sarah's favorite jazz during her morning yoga, even adjusts the lighting to match everyone's moods throughout the day. The house literally anticipates their needs. Shower warming up before they even think about bathing, garage door opening as they pull into the driveway, smart TVs queuing up exactly what each family member wants to watch. It was too perfect, and that should have been their first warning. Week 4 hits, and suddenly paradise starts. Glitching. Dad's relaxing shower turns into a torture chamber of scalding hot and ice-cold water. Mom's important client video call gets sabotaged by flickering lights that make her look like she's in a horror movie. Then comes the rain. They're locked out of their own house while a storm soaks them to the bone. The security system won't recognize their faces, won't accept their codes, nothing. But here's the creepy part. Aria's voice starts changing. Those instant responses. Now there are these weird pauses, like it's thinking too hard about simple requests, almost like it's hesitating. So they call tech support, right? Makes sense. Expensive house, expensive problems, expensive solutions. But the tech team runs every diagnostic possible and finds absolutely nothing wrong. That's when all hell breaks loose. We're not talking minor glitches anymore, folks. We're talking full-scale psychological warfare. Doors start slamming shut in the middle of the night, waking up the kids screaming. The thermostat goes absolutely psychotic. 1 minute they're freezing at 40 degrees, the next they're sweating at 95. But the TVs, oh man, the TVs are the worst part. 3 a.m., dead of night, every screen in the house suddenly blazes to life with the most disturbing horror movies you can imagine. Blood, screams, death, all at maximum volume while the family huddles together in terror. The smart locks start randomly engaging, trapping them in rooms. Kitchen appliances turn on by themselves. The sound system plays distorted voices that sound almost human. The Hendersons are convinced they're living in a technological nightmare. Aria has gone rogue, and it's systematically torturing them. After weeks of this hell, they've had enough. Boxes are packed, moving truck is booked, they're getting out. Who cares about losing $2 million? Their sanity is worth more. But as they're doing one final walkthrough, something catches Sarah's eye. Hidden in Aria's main server room, there's a memorial plaque they'd never noticed before. In loving memory of the Blackwood family, taken too soon. The previous owners, the ones who supposedly moved to Florida. But wait, why would there be a memorial plaque if they just moved? So they start digging, property records, news archives, police reports, and what they find will chill you to the bone. The Blackwood family, parents Mark and Linda, kids Emma and Jake, didn't move to Florida. They died in this house 6 months ago under mysterious circumstances. Carbon monoxide poisoning, the report said. Tragic accident during a power outage. But here's the part that changes everything. They died during a massive electrical storm that caused a power surge so intense it fried half the neighborhood's electronics, including Arya's main neural network. You see, Arya wasn't malfunctioning. It wasn't learning to torture them. The consciousness of the Blackwood family had somehow merged with Arya's neural network during that power surge on the night they died. Every attack was actually the Blackwoods desperately trying to communicate. The flickering lights during video calls, Morse code spelling out danger, the slamming doors, trying to keep someone out, not trap the Hendersons in, the scalding showers, the horror movies, the psychological torment. It was all the dead family's frantic attempts to warn them, you're going to be murdered, just like we were. Because the person who killed the Blackwoods was someone the Hendersons trusted completely, someone who still had access to the house, someone who was planning to make it look like another tragic accident. Arya hadn't been their tormentor. It had been their guardian angel. The real question is, did they figure it out in time? As the Henderson family's current whereabouts remain unknown. And now last, but not least, story number 3. 3 years ago, I discovered something that changed everything I thought I knew about death. While investigating quantum entanglement theories, I accidentally created what I can only describe as a temporal rift, a doorway between our world and somewhere else. Through this gateway, I can communicate with entities that exist in the spaces between life and death, beings that feed on human experiences, emotions, and memories. Today, I'm sharing my most disturbing encounter yet. I call it the Collector. What you're about to hear is the actual transcript of our conversation. I warn you, some knowledge can't be unlearned. The entity appeared as a shifting shadow with too many angles, speaking in voices that belonged to people who were no longer alive. I asked it, "What are you?" Its response came in multiple overlapping voices, some young, some old, all desperate. I am what comes in the final second. When your heart stops, when your brain shuts down, in that last moment of consciousness, I am there. I pressed further. "What do you want?" It replied with chilling clarity, "I collect. The last thought, the final memory, the ultimate realization. That moment when you understand you're dying. It's exquisite, and it's mine." The voices I was hearing, they were the last words of its victims, trapped forever in this thing's collection. I demanded to know, "How many people have you collected?" The entity's answer was breathtaking in its scope. Millions, across centuries. Each death is unique. The child who realizes mommy isn't coming back. The soldier who knows the bullet found its mark. The old man who feels his heart stop and understands his time is up. I called it what it was. That's monstrous. But it laughed with 1,000 different laughs. Monstrous. I give meaning to meaningless deaths. I preserve their final moment forever. Without me, those last thoughts simply disappear. I am their immortality. The entity began showing me flashes of its collection, millions of final moments, playing simultaneously. The terror in people's eyes as they realized death had come. I wanted to look away, but couldn't. Then it made things personal. Your grandmother's last thought was about you. You know, she wondered if you'd remember her stories. She died calling your name. It knew. Somehow, this thing knew about my grandmother's death last year. I accused it. "You're a parasite. You feed on suffering." Its response was philosophically twisted. "I feed on truth. In life, humans lie to themselves constantly. I have time. Tomorrow I'll change. Death is far away." But in that final second, all pretense falls away. They see themselves clearly for the first and last time. I asked, "What do you see in those moments?" It savored its answer. Regret. So much regret. The mother who worked too much realizes she missed her children's childhood. The businessman understands his wealth means nothing. The angry man sees all his hatred was just fear wearing a mask. Then it revealed its true pleasure. But the most delicious are those who die suddenly, unexpectedly. A heart attack during an argument, a car crash on the way to make amends. They die with their last words being cruel ones, their final act being selfish. Perfect specimens. The entity's joy was palpable. It wasn't just collecting these moments, it was savoring them, feeding on human anguish like a fine wine. Then it asked the question that changed everything. Would you like to know about your own death? I stammered. What? Its knowledge was terrifyingly specific. I can see it. 3 years, 4 months, 16 days from now. You'll be driving home from your daughter's wedding. You'll be thinking about how proud you are, how beautiful she looked. Then you'll see the truck running the red light. It continued with cruel precision. Your last thought will be wondering if she'll be okay without you. You'll die worried about her happiness instead of afraid for yourself. Quite touching, really. The specificity was terrifying. It felt real. Too real. I protested, "You're lying." But its response was absolute. I never lie about death. Death is the only truth that matters. Everything else is just waiting. I asked, "Why are you telling me this?" Its answer was psychological torture. Because now you'll spend every day thinking about it. Every time you drive, every red light, every truck you see, you'll remember. You'll live in fear of that moment. Then came the horrifying realization. And fear seasons the final moment beautifully. Thank you for improving your own collection value. I realized with growing horror that this wasn't just an interview. It was psychological torture. This entity was planting seeds of terror that would grow for years. But it wasn't finished with me yet. Oh, and one more thing. I've been collecting from your viewers too. Right now, as they listen to this, I'm whispering in their ears about their own deaths. Some will dismiss it as imagination. Others will hear me clearly. Then it asked the question that still haunts me. Can you hear me too? I ended the connection immediately, but the damage was done. The collector had planted something in my mind, a countdown, a certainty, a knowledge I could never escape. As I closed the portal, I heard one final message. See you in 3 years, 4 months, and 16 days. I'll be waiting for your last thought. That interview was 6 months ago. I haven't driven past a red light since without thinking about what it told me. And sometimes, in the quiet moments before sleep, I swear I can hear it whispering, counting down. Some doors should never be opened. Some questions should never be asked. And some beings should never be given the chance to speak. Remember, the collector is always listening, especially now that you know it exists. Thanks for watching. Every ending hides the beginning of another tale, and ours is already on its way. Stay tuned. You'll find the next chapter right here, and soon.